Hello everyone, Shantanu here. And today's discussion topic is investment banking. I believe everybody is looking at the picture on the right hand side. We have seen these kinds of screens in either Bollywood or Hollywood movies. So many people are looking at the screens and suddenly they start shouting, yes, this is the stock exchange. And this investment banking is dealing with this. Very interesting, complex and demanding domain from the last couple of decades. In couple of minutes, it's very difficult to digest the overall concept. However, let's try. Okay? This is the agenda of today's discussion. First, we will have a quick recap on what are the different types of banking and its motivation. Secondly, we will have a kind of detailed discussion on investment banking at a very high level. Then we will see few commonly used terms and terminologies in investment banking. And finally, we will go through an interesting topic, that is data science or AI for investment banking. Now, the different types of banking. I have been exploring this banking domain from the last couple of weeks, and it's my realization that these banks are classified based on the consumer group to whom they are providing these services, the nature of the services and the volume of transaction. For example, retail banks like SBI, ICICI, etc. are providing services to Aam Aadmi, people like us. Mainly they are in current accounts, savings accounts, deposits and etc. And we had most of our sessions on this. The next one is commercial bank. Yes Bank, IDBI Bank are some of the examples. They are mostly dealing with small to medium scale businesses for their fundings requirement. Nowadays, most of the retail banks are also in commercial banking. Investment banking. We are going to deep dive in investment banking in the upcoming slides. Lastly, universal banking. This is the recently coined term, that is, the banks which are providing all kinds of services, commercial, retail, investment and etc. Banks like JP Morgan, Credit Suisse, Lloyds, etc. are some of the examples. Now coming to investment banking. As I earlier mentioned, it is very demanding and complex domain. Investment banker was the most preferred career option for IIM graduates like Chetan Bhagat started his career as an investment banker. Let me share some interesting facts now. Most of the multi-million dollar AI initiatives are going across investment banking. It involves a lot of data engineering, data science, machine learning, deep learning efforts. As a data science graduate, we will have most of the career opportunities in investment banking domain. So let's start to understand the functionality of this domain at a very high level. Now, it mainly provides financial consultation to wealthy individuals or big corporates. There are numerous services these banks provide. However, we will broadly classify these in three categories for the sake of our understanding. The first one is the service to raise capital for their business from public domain. Any company to switch from private limited to public, they have to issue the IPOs in order to raise the capital. It involves a lot of efforts, paperwork with the respective stock exchange. Here, investment bankers help to operate end-to-end execution. I am not sure if you guys are aware about the recent IPO issuance of the Happiest Mind. It was oversubscribed around 150 times in this pandemic situation. ICICI Securities and Nomura Financial Advisory has managed these IPO sales. For your information, Happiest Mind is an IT company based in Pune which intensively works on data science projects. Their second service is like mergers and acquisitions. In case of any mergers, two companies ventures together in order to complement each other's strengths. For example, in 80s, Hero and Honda merged together as Hero Honda and grabbed almost 47% of the market share. In this case, Hero, that is an India-based company which has very good distribution and support model, and Honda, a Japanese company, joins them with the high-grade technology during those days. So these kinds of mergers require a lot of systematic planning. It's the big transformation for both of the companies. There are cultural shocks, financial hiccups, and takes months or years of systematic planning. Here, investment bankers helps to lay out such strategic planning and associates with them till the end of the merger as a consultant. Now, the last one is sales and trading, that is stock trading. I am sure most of you are aware about share trading, that is, at what time what to buy and what to sell is the crucial decision for an individual or corporate benefit. It requires a lot of historical data mining as well as external data understanding, where a dedicated brokerage team from investment bankers helps the organizations. We are going to see how AI helps automate trade execution in the upcoming slides. Now, the terms and terminologies. I strongly believe during exploration of any subject, it may be banking or linear algebra, we should be well aware about the commonly used terms and terminologies to digest the overall concept. So I tried to put some of the terms together. It would be a very huge list, but my intent here is to highlight that there should be some conscious efforts, nothing else. Coming to the interesting topic, that is data science or AI use cases in investment banking. The first one is automating initial public offering, that is IPO. In June 2017, Goldman Sachs announced that it had mapped around 127 steps it takes to execute an initial public offering. It found that about half of those steps could be done by computers rather than people. So Goldman Sachs developed DealLink, a computer system that arranges and tracks the legal and compliance diligence, files out forms and generates reports needed for an initial public offering. Goldman Sachs has reduced thousands of hours of work done by people, releasing them to do more value-added work. Here, the average cost of a trader is around $50 million a year. The trader is the person who is responsible for trading stocks on behalf of the company or bank. But now, 4 traders can be replaced by 1 computer engineer. Over 30% of the employees of Goldman Sachs are computer engineers or data scientists or AI engineers. Now, the second one, automate security trading. And next to this is BNP Paribas. The French bank comes with the product Smart Chaser. Is algorithmic trading tool which automates almost 80% of the share trades. There is no absolutely manual intervention, and this is somewhat same with the Oxford product ManOwl. Now the third, preventing activist investor attack. An activist investor is an investor who buys a large number of shares in a public company. Like in Bazaar Hindi movie, Shakun Kothari tries to purchase most of the shares, and further he uses it for individual profit, not organization as a profit. It's a kind of a scam. To avoid these kinds of scams of share trading, investment bankers analyze the customer profile for any vulnerability for days and days. But nowadays, Goldman Sachs built an AI-powered product, Jupiter, which gives the customer profile insight in 30 seconds. Behind the scene, there are a lot of data engineering, data science work. And now the last use case is AI-powered virtual assistant chatbots. JP Morgan is the first bank to roll out an AI-powered virtual assistant. These are mainly the chatbots which we use for any help or customer care. Now, to put things to a close, investment banking is a very demanding domain for data science or artificial intelligence community. It needs a lot of conscious efforts to understand this domain as a data science graduate. Lots of fundings are granted for AI initiatives in investment banking. And lastly, we should keep an eye on tools and technology transformation in investment banking.